It's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your tax bill?
We're here in the studio today. Today is Thursday, the 14th day of November 2024. And as usual, we're here in the studio. If you can hear my voice, it means you're rightly tuned into the frequency meter of Unity 93.3 FM and TV. And of course, it is that your most anticipated political and socio-economic program on the radio, the Unity Train. As usual, we do this program every day of the week: Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and of course Fridays, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. You do this program like you know, as a listener, you should be aware of this already, that we do this program in 3 segments. The first segment is the newspaper headlines, where we give you contemporary issues on the newspapers or dailies. Then the second segment is the transit segment, where we have an analyst in the house to give an in-depth analysis into the contemporary issues of interest that we have in the house on the daily. The third segment is the segment I love to call your segment, because in this segment you actively participate by giving your input and submissions concerning the issues we have on ground, or personal issues that you would want to put out there for the to the appropriate authority so they can address it. Now, when it's time for you to call, the number to call is 070-3235-3315. I'll call the number again, 070-3235-3315. And the numbers to send your SMS to is 081-6314-1141. On social media, we are on Facebook. You can get us on Facebook on Unity FM/TV Jos. And then on YouTube, we are on Unity FM TV Jos. This program, as you know, is that your most anticipated political and socio-economic program on the radio, the Unity Train. As usual, I would tell you, no human is more human than another human. So as you go about your business today, be rest assured, put it behind your mind that you are going to impact somebody in the little way that you can. Only that way can we prove to ourselves that we are human, because the greatness in humanity is not in being human, but in being humane. Try to impact somebody in the little way that you can. This morning, I am not alone in the studio. I am blessed to be graced with the presence of great analysts. These ones are not political analysts as usual that you know, but these are security experts. They're going to give you insight as to the security state of this country and what their take is about the current issues when it concerns security here in Nigeria. The next voice you're going to hear is going to be the voice of O'Connell. He's going to introduce himself. And then the next other voice you're going to hear is going to be a voice of the other person I have in the house. Today I'm balancing it, gender balancing. I have a female and a male in the house, so we are all going to have this conversation. I want you to keep your fingers crossed as we bring to you what we have for you this morning. It promises to be educative, interactive, and as usual, you know, you are part of this from the Genesis right through to the Revelation. Thank you. Keep your fingers crossed. You're welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you so much for welcoming me.
So, sir, the people will want to know your name and what you do, your specialty.
Lieutenant Colonel S.K. Samuel, retired.
Okay, Lieutenant Colonel S.K. Samuel, retired. Ma, you would want to say good morning to our listeners.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dorcas Pankes Gamaji.
Okay, she is Mrs. Dorcas Pankes Gamaji. This morning, keep your fingers crossed. As usual, you know, we talk about the security issues every day. And today, we have some people that are going to give us better understanding when it comes to the issues of security. Often we call in and then we talk about security. We talk about how backward we are when it comes to the issues of security, how we've been facing security challenges, despite the fact that we know that the primary function of government is the protection of life and property. So this morning we're going to be having an in-depth conversation as to the current security state of this country. You will start, if you want to send a text message, you can start typing your text message to this very number. I'm going to call the number one more time, 08163141141. As you're doing so, I'm just going to take some few headlines just for your consumption. Today we are not going to be talking much about the headlines on the newspaper. We are going to be talking more about security, and I know you are very interested in this topic, as I am interested in this topic. On the newspaper this morning, this day has this to say. It says, Ribado lists Tinubu gains, vows to crush terror group, the Lakurawas. It's in line with what we have to discuss this morning. First News has this to say, Wike Defense Judges Quarters Project as Tinubu vision for judicial independence. Still on First News, Nigeria needs federal constitution, not 1999 fashion. Anya Oku. Still on the First News, it says Nigeria needs $10 billion PPP investment in power sector. That is public-private partnership in power sector. The Matrix has this to say. It says Lakurawa FG talks tough. Nobody dares Tinubu and wins. Ribado roars. Defense Minister reveals how FG will overrun terror group. Nigerian Navy takes delivery of 3 new Augusta Westland helicopters. The Nation, terrorists will be flushed out soon, says Ribado. Those are the few newspaper headlines that I have to take this morning for your consumption. And the next voice you're going to be hearing is going to be the voice of the lieutenant in the house, colonel in the house, sorry, permit me. The colonel in the house, lieutenant colonel in the house will be the ones you're going to be hearing. Pay attention, and then we're expecting you're going to call in and give your input and then ask questions if needs be, as the issue is discussed in the house this morning. So, sir, I would want you to tell us what you think generally about your opinion when it comes to the Nigerian security. Is it getting better, or do you think it is getting worse?
Yeah, you know, the country is faced with multiple layers of insecurity, challenges here and there. As the military or security agencies are solving one, others are popping up from other direction. So, you see, for me to say it's either going down or rising, it depends on my research. However, depends on the insecurity we're talking about. Is it the kidnapping? Is it the armed robbery? Is it the terrorism? So it depends on which one are we facing. Is it the headers clash? So we don't need to generalize this and say insecurity is going down. No, we have to distinguish which one are we talking about.
Okay, let's talk more about terrorism.
Good.
Do you think we are making progress in terms of the issue of terrorism? Are we making any progress, or do you think we've been stagnant, or we are retrogressing?
We are not stagnant. We are not stagnant. We are working. The military is working assiduously to put things in order. But most time I tell people that the military just can't do it alone.
Yeah.
They can't just do it alone. You don't need to. The military will not be everywhere at the same time.
True.
So the military will do its part, and other security agencies will also do their own. Especially governance. Once there is good governance, it will take care of a lot of the insecurity. Once there is good governance in the land, it will take care of insecurity. But once there is no good governance, insecurity will definitely escalate. Because that is where they breed from.
True.
Because non-good governance brings poverty. And poverty is a brain behind all other insecurity.
Yeah. Somebody, professor would once tell me, just to agree with what you're saying, a professor once told me, he said, the first god every man worships is his stomach. So when a man is hungry, there's a possibility of doing one thing or the other. And another one will say the idol is the workshop of the devil. So when you don't have a job to do, often at times you find yourself wanting to do anything to see that you survive, even though it is not advised that you do so, but somehow the human nature has made it that way. Okay. I want to know, sir, do you think that, what exactly do you think is lacking that makes our security to, seems as if they are not performing the way they should? I'm saying this because if you go on the streets now and then you ask questions, you ask the average Nigerians questions as to the insecurity state, the state of insecurity in Nigeria, often at times they'll tell you the security are not doing anything, or the security are not doing enough. So it's the reason why I'm asking you, what do you think is really lacking? That's because if there's if the security are doing as well as they should do, the people will have less to complain about. So there's more complaint because the people are not really feeling the impact of this security. Often Nigerians will tell you, if you build a house today, if you have 10 million to build a house, build out of 7 million and get a gun of 3 million so you can protect yourself. You get that?
Yeah, I do. You see, the problem is not the military. The challenge we have today is with the citizen.
Okay.
Because there is no trust between the military and the citizen. And once this trust is missing, you would never grade the military to be doing anything. Secondly, the military cannot be everywhere. Thirdly, you see today the military, let's take example of Jos. The military are in Bokos, they are in Mango, they are in this, there. The longer they stay there, they start to outlive their usefulness. The perception you now have about them will be that they are not doing anything because you are used to them. So I don't expect the military to stay longer than necessary in any particular area.
It brings about familiarity.
Yes. Once you are invited, you do play your role and quickly leave that end. Then the next layer of security is the police. You see, we are supposed to build this trust. We are stakeholders with the police. Build trust with the police. And definitely you will see improvement in the community. But once the community sees the police as an enemy, and police has display this antagonistic posture to the people, there won't be improvement. Police should see the citizen as part of the stakeholders. The citizens should also see them as part of stakeholders. They have everything to contribute to build the society. Assuming in a community now where you have a DPO, and this DPO have town hall meeting with the community, and the community tells them their problem. Let's go back to the traditional way of policing. The chiefs, everybody comes to report to the chief that this boy is stealing this compound. They went and stole something yesterday. They go to the chief to report. And police came and took over that function of enforcement. Then what happened? Betrayal of trust. Government neglects. When government neglects people for a long time, they don't cease to. They lose faith in government. And so any government agency that is trying to work for them, they don't welcome them. They look at them as, these people are just coming to make noise. Nothing positive will come out of them. So the same thing, they look at the police like that. Even the military. Once you deploy police and military to an environment today, the people already have a mindset because of the past experience. So these people are not coming to do anything different. Look at that boy. He has been stealing. We know him. When we go and report to the police, police arrest him. After 3 days, he's back to the community. And he will now tell us, I know who those that reported me. I know those that reported me.
So the place of confidentiality
is not there. So there should be a synergy to trust themselves. Everybody should have something at stake. If you have something at stake, certainly you will do well. The people should see the police as partners in progress. The police should see them as partners in progress. Today, police should change their perception, their way of working, from that perspective of you coming to the police station to report. It should be reactionary. Police should go out. Don't wait for people to come to the station to report. They should go out. Because if they have synergy with a community, they can go to the chief, they can go to the youth leader, they can go to the women leader, they can go to the market leader, they can go to the community and discuss. What is the problem? We had yesterday, yes sir, this, and they will take action. But not to wait in the station until somebody comes to report. People don't go to police station again. Some even take the laws into their hands. Because even when you go to the police station, the person you go and report, nothing will be done. So why must I go to the police station tomorrow? And the matter is worse today, has been made worse because of our judiciary. Our judiciary has made everything worse. So if the judiciary live up to expectation today, things will change. If somebody commits crime and judiciary speedily adjudicate over the matter, I don't think another person will want to try such.
Adjudicate correctly.
Adjudicate correctly. You know, but that perception of not correctly is because of our mindset about the police.
You know, there's a saying that says there's never a smoke without fire.
Good.
The people did not get to the point where they developed this mindset just like that. In other advanced countries, like say the Sweden, Switzerland, the US, the people see the police differently. Now, in your opinion, why do you think the people see police differently here in Nigeria specifically?
I've told you. I said antagonistic way of doing things. You see a policeman now, you see you should be civil in the approach.
I agree with that aspect of civil.
They should be very, very civil in their approach. Not because they say this man did something, you have not even heard him. There's no fair hearing. You've not listened to him. You start slapping him, beating him, bundle him to sell. That is not what we need. That is not what we need. Police should not be seen as enemies. They should be seen as partners in progress.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Partners in progress in that community. Once they see police, people should be happy to say, police
have come. Yes, yeah.
Look at what happened, look at what happened, look at what happened, because they know police will take care of that issue. But once police, well, it's not all the police.
Yeah, of course, not all of them.
But you know one thing, no matter how you think you want to train the police, retraining, or change their uniform, that will not change their behavior.
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. You have to change their mindset for things to work. Not the uniform, if you like, take them to abroad to train them, and if they come back, they'll still behave the way they are. It's the mindset.
It's just like painting a grave, changing the color of a grave. You can't change the fact that the carcass is inside.
It's there. So that is how it is. So you see, and when people see justice being done, not person, you see it being done, you will know that yes, things are going right. And most crises you see around us, there are sponsors. How many sponsors have been arrested and prosecuted?
True.
So when this one commits his own crime and the sponsors are not arrested, and once you arrest those were caught, the sponsor will go and bail them. After 6 months, you see them back to the community. they will do more than they did the first time. I'm not advocating that people should go to jail. You see, if the community, if the police is working, and they want the police to work, there should be reformation of the judicial system. You understand? Apart from the judicial system, all the justice system, the police, the courts, the prisons should be reformed. So that when you arrest somebody, this issue of taking him to prison for 6 months, 1 year, you go and harden him the more. You toughen him the more. By the time he comes back, he commits more havoc.
But the prison is supposed to be a correctional center.
That is
where
what is
people
supposed.
go and then they are corrected, their mindset is put in check, so they can come back and be better people in the society. But here we are having a situation where people go and then they come back almost worse than they left.
Yeah.
What do you think could be the reason why it is like that? Is it that we are not doing the right thing in the correctional centers, or something is lacking?
Apart from, let me start with corruption. Corruption is a big problem. What do I mean by corruption? You send people to prison. We have this native mindset. Corruption is not just about money. If you don't do your work well,
it's corruption in
itself. So when you send people to prison, they're supposed to be fed. Government provide for them. At the end of the day, instead of eating 3 square meal, they eat once. They eat once. Sometimes they don't even sit down once to eat. People feel this mindset of this man commits an offense, he doesn't need to come here and eat food. I don't know if you are getting me. He doesn't supposed to come to the prison and be fed. After all, he committed an offense and he's coming here to reward him with feeding. No. Let's make him suffer. So you're not.
That's the mindset.
That is the mindset. So police, the correctional facility, like it's called, that's why they changed the name.
Yeah, to correctional center.
So that when you go there, it's for you to, it's a sober reflection. What I did, is it fair? I'm not supposed to have gone to that village to burn their houses. It's wrong. I need to go and restitute. I need to go and apologize to them. Anytime I leave here, I will go back to that community to apologize and turn a new leaf. But when you go to the prison, you meet your colleagues, you meet your fellow inmates with this kind of mindset. Are you thinking of something good will come out of that union?
Not at all.
Somebody who stole chicken, and somebody who commit murder, and somebody who commit armed robbery, you put them in the same cell to rub minds for 1 year, 2 years. They discuss and they bond.
Okay. That was a very, very beautiful analysis and input we are getting from the lieutenant in the house. We'll be going on a very, very short break and we will be back. Stay tuned.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune into Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. Some love. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It a kill love, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was saying things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
Unity TV.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Unity. Unity TV.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?
Welcome back from that very short break. If you can still hear my voice, it means you're still rightly tuned into the frequency meter of Unity 93.3 FM and TV. And of course, if you're just joining us, we are still on the matter of security here in the studio, and it is still that your most anticipated political and social economic program on the radio, the Unity Train. The voice that you're hearing right now is the voice of no other but me, Michael Pedro, your regular anchor. And before we went on that very short break, we were having a conversation as to the current security state of the nation and a possible solution to putting an end to this insecurity that we are experiencing as Nigerians. You can do well to sit down, keep your fingers crossed, and be part of this informative and educative section with us this morning. So, sir, before we went on that very break, you had a lot to say about security, and then you've given some beautiful input as to some of the challenges that we are experiencing and the causes of this challenge. But then I want to ask you this, what do you think is the cause of the continual crisis and security challenges that we've been experiencing over a long period of time? Like the causes of these very challenges that we've been experiencing from any angle?
Yeah, depends on the environment. Depends on the environment. You know, every environment has its own cause
of insecurity.
Of insecurity. But if let's take a case study of a particular environment, we'll be able to pontificate on the causes. Example, if you look at my opinion, if you look at some parts of Plateau, Plateau is a beautiful place to stay. And the communities, they are well-to-do, they are agrarians, so they at least they do their best to see that people live comfortably within their earnings. However, a lot of things has gone wrong. Not today. Not today, from my own research. You see, some communities, communities that have been existing for a very long time. Because of their mind-boggling, they welcome civilians. Strangers. They welcome strangers into their communities, not civilians. Sorry,
you're permitted to use that.
So I retract that word. They welcome strangers, and they live together. After a while, those strangers begin to purchase the lands there. The community begin to sell their lands to strangers. Probably they needed money to train their children in school, or they needed money to move to the city. So they now begin to sell their lands. And these strangers develop that land, build on that land, give birth on that land. And after a very long time, that man that sold his land out to stranger, now, as at that time he sold the land, maybe his children were just 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years. Now, the children are 15, 20 years, 20-something, 30. They now want that land back. Because that is where I know I was born. That is where I know to be my father's land. But you have forgotten that your father sold the land to a stranger. Now you want your land back. And the stranger is not ready to give you that land back. What do you think will happen?
It's going to be
recipe for crisis. So when the stranger now say, okay, instead of me giving this land, this land back to this man, let me destroy it. Let me burn the whole houses there. And it becomes crisis. You burn, I burn. You attack, I attack. You attack, I attack. Oh, but however, all these things, all these crises we are witnessing, they have sponsors. They have sponsors. When have we ever heard that sponsors are arrested?
I have not heard anyone.
Good. So they have sponsors. Because like Plato said, poor people are like, masses are like potato in the sack. They don't have a leader. But somebody comes to organize them and give them direction. He's their leader. So when you arrest that person, whoever is sponsoring, providing that money, will be arrested too. But most times, sponsors are not arrested. But let me be very frank with ourselves. Sometimes we know the sponsors, because they are highly placed. They are highly placed. They are wealthy.
So somehow they are like above the law.
They are larger than the law. So you can't even touch them. So in that case, what do? It's the foot soldiers that you arrest. The foot soldier that cannot even feed himself or herself. And tomorrow, you see the sponsor go to the police station or go anywhere to go and bail them. And most times you see cases taking longer in the courts. Why? For example, let me digress a bit. Evans case. You know about Evans in
kidnapper, yeah?
Kidnapper. Do you know the man is still in court? His case is still in court. All this while. So when kidnappers look at this man, nothing they do him now. Nothing they do him now. Some people are emboldened to go into that venture. When you see crime being committed and people are not brought to book, it makes some people feel
it's that permission to
into I beg. What did they do that man? What did they do that woman? Before you know it, they go into it. And another fueling, let me say, trigger that triggers all this is poverty. When there's poverty in the land, some people don't think right. Some people don't think right. The church and mosques are doing their best, but not to a hungry person. Not to a hungry man.
How many people can the church feed?
Yes.
How many people can the mosque feed?
Not a hungry man. A hungry man is an angry man, and is ready. It's a recipe for disaster. So the thing is, the judiciary should wake up. Once these sponsors are arrested, it should be dispensed expediently. The cases should be dispensed expediently, and people will see that those people that try this thing, look at what they did to them, and they will take dressing. They will have a rethink if they want to venture into that thing. I'm not advocate of killing, capital punishment, or going to jail. I'm not an advocate of that. I feel people should be refined. When people should find people will commit offense and refine them, rehabilitate them. They will become better people in the society. So, issue of crisis will address poverty. That is the first point of contact. Address that poverty issue. Good governance. Once you are giving good governance, honestly, you will not see crisis in your community, in your state. Let me use the word state. But when people are hungry, they don't think well. They're beginning to think that you're not even doing anything. They're not seeing your efforts. They're beginning to condemn anything you're doing. Even when you're doing good, they are condemning it. Because they're hungry. And when they're hungry, there's no place to work. Unemployment follows. No place to work. Because if you provide the man with a job, there's an industry in this just now. Every morning you see people go and line up and they take you for daily job. And at the evening you're coming out, they pay you. In the morning people are rushing there. In the evening you are closing. Every morning people will go and do something. Nobody will wait to think of criminal acts. They will go and work.
True.
So poverty, unemployment, they are fuel. That fuel the crisis. So, like I said, good governance, good judiciary. Like I told you, judiciary should wake up. People are brought before you. Why are you keeping Evans for more than 10 years now, going there? People will look at him as, nothing happened to him, so free for all. Like the same thing again, change policing. Policing mode should be changed from this traditional to reactionary. Like I told you earlier, traditional way to reactionary. Police should not sit in their police office, like I said, in their station, to wait for people to come and report cases. Nobody will come and report anything. Nobody will come to the police station. Now if you go to, people say, go to the police station and report this man that stole your fowl. The woman will tell you, police? Which police? Police that will come and collect money for transport, collect money for fuel, collect money for paper. So why would I go and spend extra money?
And maybe at the time
I will not get justice.
Even get the justice.
So there's no need. Rather, those boys who are in the community, those boys, they know how to handle those problems in the community.
So it will give rise to jungle justice.
Jungle justice. Jungle justice. So, and like I said, yeah, so that we change from that traditional way to reactionary and involve technology.
That's very important.
Yeah, involve technology.
But then talking about technology now, when we want to talk about technology, especially talking about the police, do you think the police has the right, what do I call it, personnel in terms of qualification to push the kind of technology that would be needed in order to achieve the aim of security?
You see, we dwell too much on paper in this part of our country, in parts of the country, our world. Certificate paperwork is, I don't think. Yes, it can, but it's not the focus. It shouldn't be the focus. Some of those Chinese men, some of those expatriates that you see here,
so-called expatriates.
No, let me say expatriate. That works for Julius Berger and Co.
Okay.
Most of them, they have no paper. They didn't go to school.
Actually.
But they are artisans. They are craftsmen. They are good in their field. So policemen have people that, if you train them on technology, they will give you a good result. Nobody toys with excellence. Everybody envelopes excellence.
True.
But when you keep doing routine, you will not get any
tangible results.
Yes, routine will not move you forward to improvement because it's routine. You are just cycling yourself within a place. But when you bring excellence, a touch of excellence will change everything. You train them, and like I said, remember I said mindset. When you change them, train them on those technology, and change the mode of their operations, instead of to traditional to reactionary, there will be any improvements.
Can this, talking about mindset, changing the police mindset and other security architecture, do you think it is possible to actually change this mindset without first putting into cognizance their motivation? Because I don't feel they are paid the way they are supposed to be paid, and it gives birth and rise to this corruption that we experience on a daily.
You see, I don't want to agree with you that payment. You see, we focus too much on payment. Yeah, anybody that works should be paid for his labor. However, remember that the security agencies are from the larger society. What you get in the larger society is what you see in the security agencies. The guy that has been stealing in the society, and they say, oh boy, go and join army. They push him, he joins army. He will still be stealing in the army. So the army is not a place that you are a thief before, now you come into the army, you will be a saint. It's not possible. Or because they didn't pay you well. A thief is a thief. A thief is a thief. Even if you pay him, let's say you are paying him 10,000 working for you in the house, and you increase his salary to 20,000, he will still thief. Still.
Actually, human wants are insatiable.
Yeah, insatiable. So you will still, because as soon as you're paying him 20,000, his demands, his wants are increasing. Formerly, he was using touchlight phone. But now that you increase his money, he feel like, no, I've come to, no, I'm a big boy now, I need iPhone or Android, a better Android. He upgrades. So we keep upgrading. We keep upgrading. So now you see, actually, the take home, the salary of security agencies, I don't think is enough. But no money can be enough. But at least it should be BRS minimum.
Moderate, yeah.
BRS minimum. Because when you work with the police or you work in the other security agencies and you are being paid, at the end of the day, after your 35 years or less, you leave the service, you don't have a house. And your children will look at you, even community, your community will look at you.
As a colossal failure.
Yes! This man, where are you coming from? And that is why people today look for cut corners. They cut corners. They steal. Because if I'm going to work and after 35 years, I don't have a home. I don't have a home. And my children are not sponsored in school. Once you retire, nobody sponsors your children. But like in the UK, I think last week, some days ago, I was watching on the screen, UK were increasing fund for veterans children, who are in private schools. So it's a system, it's a place where the system, everything works. If a system is not working, everything will suffer. If a system is not working, everything will suffer. Just like you don't have currents. All the gadgets, security gadgets you have in your house, all the electronic gadgets, they are not going to work.
Of course, they'll be lying there dormant.
Because there's no power to power them. So that's how it is. So you see some people, you see them in the uniform. What they are doing in uniform is very, very regrettable.
So this very assertion of you just gave reminded me of an incident that happened with in the last administration. During the Buhari's administration, some Boko Haram were repatriated, were like back into the society, and then some of them were given uniforms as military men. What do you think the effect of that is?
You see, that thing, I don't think it's true. However, there's no...
There was the newspapers had it.
Yeah, the newspaper, even the electronic media.
Yes,
even the electronic media
has it, the newspaper has it.
Yes.
And one thing with journalism is you hardly would publicize what you have not verified.
No, but not these days. Most journalists, I give it to some. Most journalists, they sit in the comfort of their offices and tell stories. They don't do
Were you in active service when this happened?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I was. And you see, what happened is that, first and foremost, the military, you are not, in fact, you won't know who is who. You go through the process, present your certificates, screen you, and you are taken. Boko Haram or terrorist is not written on your forehead. Criminal is not written on your forehead. Even though during the recruitment there's drug tests and everything. There are some terrorists that don't take drugs. There are some terrorists that they don't take drugs. So when they go for drug tests, they will pass. And there are some fine guys that take drugs, but they are not terrorists. So you end up dropping the guy who is not a terrorist, and taking somebody that was a terrorist.
So there is no system in place that gives room for a background check before employment?
No background check, nothing like that. Background check, the only check I think they do is the village head should sign the papers that you are an indigene or whatever. And after recruitment, while on training, they also send people to go and verify your documents, the information you give in those documents. They will go and verify it. However, the traditional ruler these days, they collect money to sign that you are an indigene. Even if you are not indigene, they collect money to sign. And most times they don't even know them. They don't even know the people they are signing for. Because somebody signing for the traditional ruler, maybe it's his son or it's one civil servant doing his work. He will just be signing for everybody. Where is your money? And he signs for you and you go and join. But the army, I don't think there's anything. There's no background check before enlisting you. There's no background check. They will only do background check while you're on training. And based on the information you provide in your documents, that is the only thing they will verify.
So these verifications happen while you are on training. And the only background check from what you're saying is the signature being appended by your clergy person in your church or your...
That was supposed that was supposed to be a background check, because you see, the belief is that before Meangwa or the traditional head append the signature on a form for you, he must know you very well. And if you append your signature for your citizen, your community person, I should believe that you have done due diligence before appending your signature. But me cannot go to the community and know the man better than the community chief. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I can't know the man better than the community chief. He lives in a community. The community should know him better. And we gave him form to feel. Which school do you attend? This. We'll check that. Fact checked. Then you said you're from this community. Please, Emir, Meangwa, help us to do this background check for this boy. And Meangwa look at the man and say, I'm not doing for this man trouble. Now this man, I'm not doing for this man trouble. Take your form. Push him. Even though he knows that he knows the man is a criminal, but he still went ahead because he doesn't want problem. And this bounces back to what I was saying. Justice system. If the justice system is not right, the system is not working. If the justice system is in place, the Amangwa will not have a reason to be afraid of and assign his. Yes. He knows that this man, you are not a good man. Those days, remember in the community, somebody can look at you and say, your behavior is bad. And he will go and report you to the authority. This man is always causing problem in our community. And they will come and arrest you. He's not scared of reporting you to the community. But today, if you try that, in fact, you're not sure even if you report him, if he's arrested, he will not come back to come and harm you. He will come back to harm you, that is for sure. He will come back to harm you. And people are shouting security, security, police. Police cannot be everywhere. The military cannot be everywhere. Now they are on checkpoints and other places. Are they here? So this will take us to that point where we'll say, if you see something, say something. Everybody is a security. Yes. Just that the security are saddled with the responsibility to go outside there and carry out the arrest. But the information they need to carry out that arrest is with you and I. So when you see something, say something, don't keep quiet. If you want a better Nigeria, you have a role to play. And when you play your role, the security will do theirs too. I will be going on a very, very short break and we will be back. When we come back, we are going to be taking your calls and text messages. The numbers to call when we come back is 070-3235-3315. And the numbers to send your SMS to is 081-6314-1141. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. Either kill law, either kill dreams, either land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Unity. Unity TV.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you had...
Welcome back from that short break. If you can still hear my voice, it means you're rightly tuned into the frequency meter of Unity 93.3 FM and TV. And of course, it is still that your most anticipated political and socio-economic program on the radio, the Unity Train. Before we went on that break, we were having conversations as to the security of this country. And the Colonel in the house has a lot to say about security in the country. This is your segment. The segment I love to call your segment because this is a segment where you can call in and give your input as to the issue being discussed in the house or any other issue you have at heart that you would want to put out there. The numbers to call is 0703-235-3315. And if you want to send in an SMS, send it to 081-6314. 1141. I will be expecting your call and input, because we are only in here because you are out there. If you're not out there, we don't have a reason why we should be here. So, sir, I wanted to ask you this question before we went on that very short break. Some people, you hear rumors on the street, people saying the terrorist groups are more sophisticated. Like the Lakrawas in recent time. You hear people saying these ones are using a different approach. They are using drones. They are doing this and that. They have the technology, and that the military will not be able to combat them if they have not been able to combat the Boko Haram since their inception. Now, my question for you now is: do you think that these terrorist groups are more trained, more sophisticated, or more equipped than the military?
My answer is simply no.
Okay.
They are no more equipped, one, and they are no more trained, two. The military is more trained and more equipped. However, when you look at those terrorist groups, they are more into what they call asymmetric warfare.
Okay, asymmetric warfare. All right.
You see, hit and run. They hit and run. But the military, they are trained in conventional warfare. You know your enemy. Your enemy know you. Just like what Iran is doing today with Israel. Israel went to Iran to bomb their facilities. I don't know if you understand. So Iran knows who did the act, and they also retaliated. You understand? So it's not like the Hamas or the Hezbollah don't hide, don't lay an ambush and attack men because they were on their way and disappear. Maybe for 1 month, next 1 month you will not even show up. Then after a while, when the military have relaxed, nothing is going on, they will come up again, attack, hit and run. That is what they are known for. But not that they can stay and face the military. Let us face each other and fight. It's not possible. They don't even have the men. They are not well trained. Rickety people, you see them. But the truth is, most of ungoverned places are merged in this country. Most ungoverned places are there. They are not governed. Our borders are porous.
Yeah,
so
I agree with you about the border.
So most times you see influx taking the borders. Go to this Castina. GBR is, I think, GBR is the only official border. 1 or 2, but the rest are not official.
And there are still there are access routes into the country.
You can trek into Nigeria and do whatever you want to do and still go back to.
And yet they are not official.
They are not official. They are not official. So when people say our borders are not manned, how many do you want to man? How many? Where you have 10 borders in a state and only 2 are official. The remaining 8, who mans them?
Oh, sorry, I have a first caller. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, Pedro, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning, Professor.
Okay, it's not the professor that is in the house today. I have a colonel.
Okay, that's all right. Pam is my name. I'm calling from Rukuba Road.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Pam. You have the floor, sir.
We are talking on the issue of security of Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
What I want to emphasize here is the key issue of complacency. If the terrorists are to be attacked by the conventional side, you discover that from this conventional side, they will pass information to the enemy that our people are coming. Then they will lay ambush and attack and kill our troops. One of our past presidents has said, even in his cabinet there are Boko Haram. So in the light of this, you will see that this issue It is a very deep issue the way I look at it.
Okay.
And as we talk of, the people are not well trained. Some of them are well trained. Some of them are well trained outside Nigeria. So don't undermine them, say they don't have anything. The papers say they have drones, they have this, they have that. Don't undermine them. You must know the position of the enemy, what he has, before you think of how to attack him. But however, since there is complacency, it will be difficult because you don't know who is who among who and who. So I want us to look at it with the mind of have to say that you can. There are no trust anyway. That's the way I look at it. Out of us, we don't agree that we are all working for the same goal. I think some of us are working for something else. So in the interest of others. But the issue of ourselves to be very, very, we have to be patriotic. Some of us are not patriotic at all. Look at this very well and check the situation yourself. May God help this country in Jesus' name.
Amen. God bless you for that beautiful input, sir. That was a very beautiful input from Mr. Pam here in the city of Jos, Rukubaro to be precise. I have another caller. Good morning.
Pedro.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. And everybody, Mr. Ike Kalu.
Mr. Ike Kalu, good morning.
You see, let me move from the first caller. Then we are not working in the same school. Let me tell you my problem. When you allow insecurity to become money venture, people will kill you. When we are talking of kidnapping, when the affairs, any part of the country that is not affected. When the Niger Delta started the militancy, the Niger Delta, tell me any single ground. That's like
Mr. Ike Kalu, I cannot. The network is very, very bad. Mr. Ike Kalu, if you can hear me, you can back and give your input on what you were saying. But then the network is a bit bad. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Mark. I'm calling from India.
Okay, you said Steve Mark?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
Something that is very, very important to be discussed as we are facing the challenges of insecurity as of now. Because when you look at the system of the security personnel in Nigeria, you see that there is personal interest as some scholars have said. The interest of there is not that patriotic and nationality competition that we are achieving a development in the country. That's why most of that position of the security. So they need for in terms of facility. So you see that most of the corruption of the running of the security, that's why we are taking all the challenges that we are taking. If not, how can the bandit or the kidnapper can overtake the whole village and nothing will happen? So it is imperative not that these kidnappers and all these criminals do not pass the power of the security of Nigeria. The security of Nigerians are very powerful in Africa. So it's not that they are politicizing the issue and corruption is among. So we all have to be especially the people at the ground. You have to reflect on what you have to see. If you see any sign, you have to report it to the citizens. If there is any action, then we can now report it further. But we don't have to keep quiet as life is going on in Nigeria. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you. God bless you. To say everybody should contribute to the success of the security.
Nigerian army, they are very brilliant, and then the whole world myself, there is no any terrorist can come and pass Nigerian army in this thing. Because how many of them the terrorists in the bush? But we, for our Nigerian soldiers, how many battalions do we have? When we the one battalion go, second one come, they will finish with them. How many of them why they go for bush? They are few in number, and then our Nigerian army, they are enough. And then apart from that one, we have different type of weapons. Nothing will be past government in the world. Anything what government say they will do, they will fit do it. And then civilians cannot do anything which they want to wish to do it. So the Nigerian army, they are very strong. If they want to finish with them, in a little time they will finish with them.
Thank you.
So may God help us and bring peace for Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Danzaki, for that beautiful input you just gave. Danzaki is trying to say the Nigerian army are equipped enough to actually carry out and
hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, I am Bashir, one time Dankoli, calling from Jos.
Okay, Bashir Dankoli.
Yes. Thank you very much, our guest. We benefit from your knowledge.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I want to contribute about the security challenge that is facing us. You know, in the place whereby you find out that there are a lot of life challenges in the country. So you find out that the youth, they wanted to go into criminal activities, but the government has role to play. Whenever anybody is being caught, should be prosecuted immediately so that it should be sent as a deterrent to others. That is why we are facing all these things. Thank you very much.
God bless you, Bashir Dankoli. I have a text message here that says, good morning, Mr. Pedro. Good morning, sir. / Madam, honestly, Colonel, you have done justice. That's what we expect the FG to do, engaging any security personnel that have experience in the Nigerian defense to give their best in tackling insecurity in Nigeria. Thank you, from Ismail Isa, here in the city of Jos, from Eshanu to be precise. Okay, I have another text message that says, good morning, Mr. Pedro and the guests. In 2023, 470,000 youths applied for the police recruitment, yet only 10,000 were selected, which scenario in nations of 240 million people with total of 350,000 police personnel only. Your view, sir. Thank you all, Mr. Maidoya Gangari. I missed that call. Do well to call in and give your input. Good morning.
Good morning, my Pedro.
Good morning, sir.
I'm coming back. The network is not friendly here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling back. I'm very interested in what you were saying. You have the floor, sir.
Yes. You see, my Pedro, when you try to plan, you have already planned to fail. Just the same way I've started telling you. When you make an illegality to become money venture, people will do it. The primary responsibility of every government is to protect life and property and their happiness.
Very true.
You see, we are talking about kidnapping today. Every Nigerian knows where kidnapping started. When it started in the southeast, the easterners were shouting, kidnapping. We thought it's not an Igbo affair, a regional affair. We kept quiet. He said, tell me throughout the whole nation where there's no kidnapping.
None.
When Niger Delta started military, he said Niger Delta. You just tell me anywhere that any single track in the water record that doesn't have militia group. Don't allow illegality to become money venture. We are talking of farmers and headers clergy becoming an insecurity. Our founding fathers made it to be a law. There are cutting routes from the federal. There are cutting routes from the state. There are cutting routes from the local government. Now we have bypassed everything and we come and make these two reasonable people that start struggling to survive. The farmers and the headers. Now it has become who is superior than who to live. Is that the way we continue? We're talking about security. Have you given this security agents the equipment to do this job? I'm a resident of Angoro. Please, if you finish this program, go for investigative journalism. From Angoro, we have only one farm that is covering Angoro and the entire university. One single farm. How many of them? Who do you think can come and do this? Do their logistics. Do where about soldiers. If soldiers meant to do police job, you imagine soldiers with the work that is not doing great. Soldiers is trying to make me and you stay safe from any international aggression. So we soldiers to be settling woman and husband fight.
Not at all, not at all.
The police, empower woman police. Give them what they're supposed to do. So that they can do this job. These people are really working. So see that me and you are living in this. But the environment is not conducive for them. And at the same time, you are talking about we're going to time. We have moved, the world has moved away from all these things. We are into technology. How many data do we have to know who is in Nigeria? You can just Google and know if I'm Musa Tekalo, am I or any other place. You don't get there. You see this issue, but you are an individual, you are not an individual. You are where we see. It's causing us our problem. This is the abattoir we have of Nigeria. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much, Ike Kalu. Ike Kalu is talking about the importance of profiling and keeping data, accurate data. As far as a country, we don't have anything like that. Our archives do not have it. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Pedro and the guest in the studio.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. This is Adewumi calling me from
Adewumi, you don't need introduction. Good morning.
Thank you very much. We'll continue to bless you people. You see, my take this morning is just very simple. Nigeria presently, our border is porous. We have the most porous border in the whole world. Honestly, people, if you look at the way that people will just be coming into this country, you see what baffles me most is that they will tell you that those people don't speak Nigerian language. So how did they get into the country? Why is it that there are no consequences for bad acts in this country? Why is it that the government also applies policies around the issue of insecurity? You see, presently Nigerians battle with the issue of insecurity during good law regime. And President Muhammad Buhari promised to end the security in 6 months. But imagine the new terror group coming on board now. I think the government must come out and do the right thing. And for the security personnel, you see, I have a challenge with the security. The problem is that they will be talking about civilian casualty. What happened to the intelligence gathering that you people have? Why won't you people try as much as possible to fish out these bad people that are killing people? Because the killing in this country is just getting out of hand. And I want to ask the guests in this studio, I have a question to ask you. The question is this: if Nigeria is not right for state police, just as they have passed it as they did, and Nigeria is not, are we right for subsidy removal? These are one of the things that Nigerians are not happy about. When we begin to clamor, this issue of state police has started ever since the last administration. They have not given it to us, and up to now, the issue of insecurity is still getting out of hand. And you could remember even the Kaduna State Governor, he made a statement. He said they are bandit and running a parallel government in this country. How many governments do we have? A government that cannot secure life and property of its citizens is a fake government. And let me conclude like this: the president made the cabinet reshuffling the other day and removing some set of people, some set of ministers. And now, what is happening to Abdullahi Bagudu and the state minister, Matawale? They shift their goalposts going to Sokoto State. What have we gotten now? We have gotten the new Nakarawa group coming on board. Before that thing gets out of hand, I think the government must do the needful. Let the president hold them accountable and let there be consequences for any minister who is not performing. We know issue of insecurity in this country is over a decade. Well, at least another government is not supposed to come on board and inherit insecurity. Thank you, and God continue to bless you people.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adewumi. Thank you, God bless you. I have a text message that says, good morning, Pedro and analyst. One area of interest is that corruption is not only stealing money. Then you have to revisit war against indiscipline. Now on the issue of eradication of mining that youths are into, what next would occupy the youth? M. Lawal Giwa from Sabon Pegi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. This is Benedict.
Mr. Benedict, good morning. It's nice to have you this morning.
Okay. I want to appreciate you for giving us the time for such a wonderful program like this. And then security issues presented to you this morning. What I want to appreciate you, if you want to talk about security in our nation, Nigeria, we should not forget that security in Nigeria has been politicized, has been regionalized. It has also been taken with a key move by the federal government time after time, government after government, state government, government come, government goes. I have personally not seen a particular government that is not very serious when it comes to the issue of security issues. 2009, when the issue of Boko Haram started in the northwest Nigeria. But it is actually sad to hear that the large amount of Nigerian budget, taxpayers' money that has been going into security to secure this country, most of this money, each chunk of this money has been going into individual pockets. People have enriched themselves. People have highly enriched themselves from the federal government money that is actually need to go to security. One of the instances of it is, remember the former NAC, 2.1 billion naira, when the dollar is exchanging for 100 and some, less than 200 naira per dollar. And you could imagine how somebody were able to disburse among the party members and its followers in terms of $2.1 billion. $2.1 billion. Honestly, I think people are going to punish really for politicizing and again dipping into corruption when it has to do with insecurity. It is also sad to hear that a nation that brand itself in the case of the community of nations as the giant of Africa have actually fell short seriously when it comes to securing their citizens. The citizens of Nigerians have highly been insecure for a very, very long time now. And people are not being punished. People are not being shamed. People are not losing their jobs because they are unable to be able to meet up to their work. Now, if you talk about another area group, imagine in the northwest Nigeria. Now, you ask yourself, have the federal government actually done enough to secure Nigeria over this week? Is it also right for them to come and telling us they are going to end it, they are going to end the local wars or whatever they call them, the new terrorists emerge? How have they been able to deal with the existing things before? And they come to tell us so that they're going to announce the method of operation to these people that are actually representing Nigerian citizens and they're taking over villages and towns? Is it also right for the federal government to also come to tell Nigerians that look at the things they're going to make announcing on the air? We don't want to hear this. We are trying to listening to all this letters on the radio. They should just take action. Action is what we want to hear. We want to see them acting. We don't want to telling us that
Thank you so much, Mr. Benedict.
Go into action and then make sure that Nigerians are secure. That's the most important thing.
Thank you, Mr. Benedict.
Take somebody who can be able to take the blame and also take the credit. Let him come in today.
Thank you.
You will go or you take the blame. Or if you take the credit. I don't personally make it doesn't make sense to me that the federal government is going to tell us that they're going to do this and do that and this.
Thank you, Mr. Benedict. Thank you. God bless you. Mr. Benedict has a lot to say this morning. Unfortunately, I have some text messages and I know calls are still coming in, but we are unfortunately not. We don't have enough time to actually pick your calls and text messages. This is not because your text messages and calls are not important, but because we have a little time. It's time for us to sign out, and we'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same station. Please, I'm so sorry. We're sorry for not being able to read out your text messages or pick your calls. It is not our doing. It is just the fact that we are out of time. Sir, you might like to say a few words, like a final words before we go.
Yeah. What I want to tell us is that we should build trust. We are all stakeholders in security, in securing our community. So we should build trust with the police, and the police should also build trust in the community. Like having a regular meeting with the faith group. Faith could be any faith. Having a regular meeting with the community themselves, market women, shop owners, everything, students. Have a discussion, robust discussion with them, and let them see that you are interested in their community. They will open up to you. They will call you that when something is going wrong. But this antagonistic approach of the police towards the citizen makes the citizen to run away from the police. They see the police, they perceive the police as enemies
instead of friends.
And sometimes some individuals, some police people also display that antagonistic behavior.
Well, thank you so much for that input. Mal, you want to say good night or goodbye for the day? Well, she's saying goodbye for the day. We'll see you right tomorrow. We'll be here tomorrow to continue with this very conversation. Maybe not in this light, in a different light, but then we'll be back tomorrow. Have a nice day and God bless you.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?